It truly is an honor, and joining us today are so many elected officials, so many community leaders, members of our board of trustees. We have with us Dr. Richard Schroeder, the Chief Education Program Officer at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute, and of course, our very own Governor Ron DeSantis. It is truly a pleasure to have you all here on this momentous occasion for FIU. And it's a little cold. I know the governor said he's going to take care of that starting Monday. Unfortunately, we couldn't figure it out for today, but it's a beautiful day. And I would like to welcome the governor to share some remarks as we kick off this momentous occasion. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Well, good morning. It's great to be back at FIU. I'm really excited about today's unveiling. You know, I just want to say there's been a little bit of controversy. You know, our education commissioner, Stasi Kamutzis, who some of you know, Miami bred, you know, we were on a little restaurant stop in Tampa at a Cuban restaurant, and he was eating the Cuban sandwich with salami on it, and he really liked it. I don't know if he's converting. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just telling you guys, you guys are going to have to do something because he may be drifting away from the Miami upbringing. But no, we're excited to be here. We've really, more than any other state by far, led on this issue of commemorating America's 250th birthday. We were able to do I got this beautiful George Washington statue from Mount Vernon that we were able to put in the Florida Capitol. And it's still there now. We've put statues of founding fathers in the counties with their namesake. So Ben Franklin's now in Franklin County, Jefferson County. I'm going to bring James Monroe down to the Florida Keys soon. Hopefully it'll be warmer down there than it is today here. And we're going to do all that. But then we also said, you know, part of appreciating the founding principles of America and what our Constitution and Declaration of Independence represents is also to recognize people that have exemplified those ideals throughout the 250 years of American history. And so we're doing that. We're going to do Frederick Douglass and St. Augustine where he spoke. We've got other things on the horizon. But here on the birthday of our 40th president, Ronald Reagan, it's very appropriate to be able to recognize his leadership and his contributions here at FIU at the Ronald Reagan House. And it's a very nice house that they have here. And so I want to thank the chairman of the board, Carlos Duarte, for funding this statue. It's an amazing statue, and it's going to be something that's going to be very, very powerful. And I think, you know, so why do it in Miami? Well, there was nobody, certainly at that time, who was stronger against communism than Ronald Reagan. And that meant there was nobody more popular in Miami at the time than Ronald Reagan, because you had so many people that really had, the wounds were still fresh from the Castro takeover of Cuba and all the destruction that they wrought. And Reagan was very strong against communism. He built up our military, stared down the Soviets, but he also had a way to just show how absurd communism was and Marxism, Leninism. And he used to tell a story about, there was a fella, you know, that went into a car dealership during the days of the old Soviet Union, and he said he needed a car and was telling about, and then the clerk's like, okay, yeah, this, that, okay. Come back in 7 years, you know, February 4th, 7 years from now. And then the guy was like, morning or afternoon? And the clerk's like, well, what difference does it make? It's 7 years from now. He's like, because I have my plumber coming in the morning that day. And it just shows you how at war human nature communism was. It was never going to work, but it was really just something that was used by power-hungry dictators to be able to justify their misrule and their oppression of their own people. And Ronald Reagan always stood firmly against that. And, you know, we wouldn't have seen the Berlin Wall fall and the Soviet Union expire when we did were it not for President Reagan's leadership. And so I'm excited to be here. This is a very fitting tribute to a great American, somebody that loved this country and really appreciated the ideals that make us so unique. So I think, are we going to go up and let her rip? Okay, let's go do it.
If everyone would like to join us in front of the statue, we're going to unveil the Ronald Reagan statue.